Back again with the third installment of The Archive. We've been featuring friends, showing off collectibles, vintage items, been doing big shows around it, lives, and this time excited to have Sean Wotherspoon here. Sean, you're not only a creative and entrepreneur, doing all types of collaborations, you've been a vintage curator since day one, but you're also a partner in vintage. Give us a little background. What have you been up to for those who don't know?
Yeah, I spend most of my time in Japan and LA, deeply rooted in vintage. Nowadays, I do like design work and a lot of creative. I have my own brand in Japan, and I'm constantly just like traveling, working, and buying vintage. That's like my whole life right now.
Collaborator with a lot of different...
Yeah, I work with a lot of different brands. I've been working with like Gap, Porsche, Bape, a lot of other brands in Japan.
You have a lot of collaborations going on right now, and they're always like top tier.
Appreciate that.
You want to talk a little bit about the Gap stuff, just because it's big and it's special, and I don't see a lot of people doing stuff like this.
The Gap idea is really cool because, again, like I said, rooted in vintage, but I always had this vision when we were doing our resale stores that it could always be bigger than us, and that I think the brands that we were reselling had a really great opportunity to corner their own secondary market. And so I always thought that, and finally, like, Gap is one of the brands who really believed in that vision and invested in that vision. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm traveling the world, buying vintage Gap, and then we're doing this on global drops on gap.com. And then we do really localized drops in the Japanese market at the Shinjuku Flags location, which is actually Gap's #1 grossing location in the world.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And such a like iconic brand and one we all grew up on.
Super iconic.
Yeah.
It's easy to wear.
Yeah.
The Gap vintage is like super high quality, and I'd say like now the product that Gap's putting out is so close to, if not better than what they were doing in like the 80s, 90s, and so it's really nice like marrying the two worlds.
How often are you in Japan these days? And just a quick description on what it's like living in Japan. What's the scene like over there?
Yeah, I mean, I do pretty much half and half.
Yeah.
Like this year will be like 6 months LA, 6 months in Japan. I'm like constantly inspired by both worlds. You know, like I get to come to LA, have like the freshness of LA, and you know, LA actually informs a lot of what's popular in Japan and vice versa. And so it's nice being able to keep up with both worlds. Living in Japan is super cool. Like the work style, the daily life, it really matches me. Like I just love to work. I love to work all day. Every day, and so I mean I find that in common with a lot of my friends there, like really hard workers, really passionate.
Yeah.
And so it makes a lot of sense. Also, Japan is like really rooted in vintage.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice, like, you know, working with a lot of the Japanese companies there. Also, for me to be able to pick vintage there is really cool.
Yeah.
Where like I've basically attacked all of LA, and I know the sources here, I have those locked down, but Japan's like a new terrain for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to kind of like spend my time getting outside of Tokyo, hunting down these new sources, if you will, or finding like a new come up spot, like
untapped
so
vintage.
Untapped.
That's great. It's such a good feeling because I mean, especially in LA, I mean, it really is. It's a saturated market. Are there particular items or categories that you really see when you're there, or that you look for over there?
It's all American vintage, essentially. Like a high percent of it is what you're seeing here, but almost kind of like curated better than what we're doing here. And then I also really like, my passion to find there is the Japanese vintage. And so I love finding, like, Japan's really famous for having these arcades since like the beginning of time. And back in the day at these arcades, you would win t-shirts and things like that. And Japan has a lot of like promos. So I love finding like Japanese promo t-shirts. We have a few in the selection here that I'll show, but I love finding like a Japanese promo t-shirt or like a Japanese version of an American shirt. Like,
why don't we jump into some of the gaming stuff?
Yeah, I mean, this one is super cool. Again, it's pink, and I feel like, you know, a lot of times you'll find like shirts like this in white or black, very kind of like basic. So I love finding this in pink. A lot of these are free size, so it's like a one size fits all, somewhere between like a medium and large, sometimes more in the large category. But yeah, this one's sick. I mean, this is 90s. This is, you know, this is Mario Kart. You can tell that this was for the Japanese market with the kanji right there. And, you know, so it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I enjoy finding these kind of things. It's like a piece of history.
Yeah, it's a gem. So what year do we think this comes from?
I think it's like late 90s or early 2000s.
Okay.
Japan was doing a lot of promo stuff from like 99 to 2004.
Right.
And so I think a lot of it's from then, but also goes back to like the 80s and things too. So you'll find a lot from the 80s. But yeah, tough to
got that classic.
The Nintendo hit right there is sick.
Beautiful, man. There's another one. There's another Nintendo piece, right? Is there? I think the sweatshirt, or did we not bring?
Oh yeah, the sweatshirt is so badass. This thing is sick, and actually, like, I don't know if this is really from, you know, the Japanese market, or if this was something from the U.S. that made its way to Japan. But this is super special because this is essentially like a promo piece. This isn't something that was like in retail stores and readily available. This was something. So this is Nintendo Snowball, Nintendo Holiday Party, 1991. And so like they had a winter holiday party.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it was just like friends and family and staff, and then they would like hand you this sweatshirt as you attended. Like, this is, to me, pretty badass because
super limited.
I've actually never seen another one.
Yeah.
I probably see tens of thousands of vintage garments a year.
Yeah.
And I haven't came across another one. So this is really special. It's on the Fruit of the Loom Super Cotton, which is like a really nice quality blank in general. Size medium, fits more like a large. It's almost like dead stock, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I love this. Mario and Luigi having the snowball fight.
What you opened my eyes to around bootleg was the fact that you don't have to go through this approval process, right? Someone can just put some stuff on. So I'm assuming
this did not go through the red tape of it having to be a retail product in a Nintendo store. They were like, yo, put this thing together. It's for the Nintendo Holiday Party. You skip so much hurdles by making these promo items, or by a bootlegger making their own like fan version. This isn't a fan version. This is officially made by Nintendo. As you can see, it has the Nintendo of America ink down there.
It's so cool.
So this was for the US.
So anybody who made it to the Snowball, shoot us a DM, because
that would be cool to talk to you.
Yeah, 1991.
If you exist, I would love to talk to you.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the pieces, some of these pieces on the wall, right?
I mean, this is a banger.
When you opened this one up and you showed it to me, I mean, something about Princess Diana.
I mean, she's an icon.
Yeah.
She's forever an icon to the entire world. She's a global icon. This is what we would call like almost like a rap tee style bootleg shirt, where it's made in commemoration of her. It has her birth and, you know, death years there, which is common to like Tupac tees, Biggie tees, things like this. You see the same style. It's on a really common rap tee tag.
Crazy.
This is I'd say this is one of the best Princess Di shirts. Like, if you look online, people are charging a pretty penny for this one, a really pretty penny. And so I felt lucky to find this in Japan.
England's Rose.
Yeah, England's Rose, Princess of Wales. I mean, this is a good one, you know?
Where do you think this was made and sold? UK or maybe the US?
It looks like it was maybe made in the US. I think this tag is pretty common on US made bootleg commemorative t-shirts.
It really does feel like if you're rocking this, it's a real statement.
I like this too because it's not super loud.
Yeah.
And so this one's actually more my style. I love a white tee first, like it's just what I wear. And I like how this one's like not overbearing. It's not front and back, which is pretty cool. Like this just feels easy to wear, you know?
My grandmother,
not like you're flexing too hard.
My grandmother used to have like all this merch, Diana merch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Like cups and glasses.
That's cool.
Stuff like that bought from the day. You want to just highlight any of the pieces?
Yeah, I mean, this is a cool Grateful Dead piece. You got the bear sitting on the big mushroom. On the back, it has a non-color, like white outline graphic that I thought was good. This one's on like a Hanes Beefy, I'm pretty sure. So it's like an earlier 90s. And that was also found in Japan. This vest is pretty sick because it has all the patches from the different teams on there, as well as the autographs. And like, I didn't research the autographs or anything, but I'm sure if you spend some time looking at it, there's some really special people on that.
The patch stuff, because we've sold a bunch of patch stuff in the past. It's its own genre. I mean, you list it, when you get it, when you look at it, it's like you can tell the journey that person
handmade.
went on. Right.
Yeah.
Their story. I mean, could have been that could have been made
Look at how
over.
they used the scarf.
Yeah. No,
Look at how they fashioned the scarf onto it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a truly beautiful handmade piece. Obviously, it was like a super fan of football.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love this kind of thing. If we were to remake this as a modern product, this would be like $800.
Right.
You know, for all the handwork and the patches.
Right.
Printing signatures on it like yearbook style.
It's a wild piece. I
It would be
wonder
expensive.
how it ended up in whatever vintage.
This person went to all these games.
Yeah.
And they collected a patch, and they probably had a seat at the front, and when the players were exiting or entering, they asked them to sign it. Like, crazy history and work went into that, and that's why I snagged it.
Amazing. What's that outerwear jacket on the back?
Oh yeah, this one, the red one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is really cool. I got this in Japan. This is one of my favorite eras of Polo. huge polo head actually from the old days.
Early, like mid 90s.
But this is green label, and it actually has the Japanese sizing. So this was made for the Japanese market. They also made these for the US.
Yeah.
But this one's so sick. CPRL 93. I mean, these still go for crazy money, but they went for even crazier money before Polo started retroing this stuff. Really good design jacket. It's got the pintail, the swallowtail, whatever you want to call it. This thing is really good two-tone. Like,
you could be fresh out of a Grand Poobah video with
dude,
this.
it's such a wearable piece. I love it to death.
Yeah.
I felt so hyped to find this and then be able to bring it back.
A certain time in New York.
Oh yeah,
right?
It really does.
You could really pull this off. It's amazing that it lasts the test of time.
Yeah, and honestly, I love how Polo was doing the dates. Like, that this came out in the CPRL 93 line.
Yeah, I want to ask you about this real quick.
Oh, the herring hat.
Yeah, just because we've done some stuff with the Herring Estate, and
true.
I personally remember when I begged my dad to drive me to Lafayette Street long before Supreme was there.
Good New York memories.
Yeah, and I made him take me to, I believe it was the Pop Shop.
Oh, so sick, Nick.
Right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think he had already passed away, but the store was still being maintained, and you walked in and it was a museum.
A lot of the best Keith Haring like vintage came from Pop Shop.
Pop Shop.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, that street, what happened after that, it emerged as sort of like the center of the New York skate scene.
Yeah.
So like what an insane legacy, what an insane creative, and what a inspirational story. You want to highlight a couple other pieces?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great items here. Honestly, like even some things like this that are even slightly newer, but still maybe 10 years old. This is Junya Watanabe for Comme des Garçons, and this is, I mean, they have stores in Japan. Like, this is product. Junya is constantly putting out new product, and I love the Junya CDG stuff. This is a really cool pair of cargos. Yeah, I love this one. The Porsche 944 shirt. Porsche's poppin', Porsche's cool.
You've also gotten a direct relationship with Porsche.
Yeah, I have like a pretty strong, relationship with Porsche, and I think this is cool. It's hard to find Porsche merch. It tends to be pretty expensive, so I was excited to find that. Yeah. This was a cool one that I also found in Japan. This is an Earth, Wind, and Fire t-shirt, and this one's from 76.
That's crazy.
Dude, 70s like rock
Spirit Tour 76.
Yeah, 70s music t-shirts in general are really hard to find.
Yeah.
So I was hyped on this one. Has a lot of...
August 23, 1976.
I love an exact date.
Yeah, Southwest.
It's really good.
So sick.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's tons of. This was a really cool one. This is like.
Oh, let's talk about this.
This is something you definitely like see in Japan. It's Comme des Garçons, but this is Rolling Stones.
Feel that.
Yeah, and so this was something like, obviously they were working with like the Rolling Stones license. They did this merch. I want to say this was like also an earlier 2000s, maybe like 06, 07 type range. But I love this because it's like rock tee adjacent. It's fashion. It's Comme des Garçons. It just like has a few things going for it. It's like streetwear, it's designer, it's vintage, it's rock. And so like I love these things that can hit like a few different categories. I think it's so sick. Here's another really cool dead shirt. I got this at a vintage store in Japan. It had such good artwork and such good graphics to it. Even the back was just like so loud and so cool. Mile High Stadium, Giants Stadium, Los Angeles Coliseum. Nice. I mean, dude, iconic performing locations here. And so like that is such a sick one.
So Monday, May 5th, we're dropping everything live, including some extra stuff, some stuff they haven't seen yet. The other thing that's really cool to highlight is sourced in Japan. I just want to, let's just keep running it.
Yeah.